You know that feeling when you grab a cheap push mower on sale, think you've saved a few bucks, and then 2 weeks later you're elbow deep in clumps of missed grass, a sputtering engine, and a whole lot of regret? That's the exact scenario a lot of homeowners run into when they try to stretch a tight budget on a low-end riding mower or a flimsy battery-powered cutter. The question is whether spending a bit more on a solid, purpose-built machine actually saves you time, money, and headaches in the long run. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Greenworks 60V 42-inch cordless zero-turn riding mower tries to be that smarter buy. It's built around a 60-volt battery platform with 4 8.0 packs and 2 dual-port turbochargers, promising you can mow, swap a battery, and keep going without the whole gasoline ritual. On paper that sounds like a win-win, but the real test is how it behaves when you actually step onto the yard on a Saturday morning, crank the throttle, and start cutting a half-acre of mixed grass, flower beds, and a few stubborn weeds. First off, the most obvious benefit is the noise level. Traditional gas mowers can easily breach 100 dB, enough to make your neighbor's dog howl and your own ears ring. Greenworks advertises a 90 dB operation, roughly 4 times quieter than a typical gas engine. In practice that means you can start early without waking up the whole street, and you can actually hear the birds while you work. For anyone who lives in a tightly packed suburb or just hates that constant roar, that quietness translates straight into a more pleasant mowing ritual. The cutting deck is a generous 42 inches, and it's paired with a brushless motor that the manufacturer says delivers the equivalent of a 24 HP gas engine. What that looks like in the yard is a consistently even cut, even when the grass is a few inches tall after a rain. I tested it on a patch that had grown unevenly because the previous mower left streaks. The zero-turn steering let me hug the edges of a flower bed without scuffing the plants, and the 8 miles per hour cutting speed, the fastest I've seen in a residential riding mower, let me finish a 1.5-acre lot in just under an hour, battery swaps included. If you've got a medium to large lawn and you're tired of spending the whole afternoon pushing a mower, that speed is a real time saver. Battery life is where the trade-off starts to show up. Each 8.0 pack can run roughly 45 to 60 minutes under normal conditions, depending on grass thickness and terrain. The package includes 4 of them, so you have enough juice to finish a full 1.5-acre job if you're diligent about swapping batteries as you go. The 2 turbochargers are a smart addition. They can charge 2 packs simultaneously, cutting total downtime in half. However, if you're mowing a larger property or you want to tackle the entire yard in one go without a break, you'll need to plan for a brief pause while a spare pack charges. It's not a problem for most suburban lawns, but for a property over 2 acres the limited run time could become a nuisance. Another practical strength is the integrated cargo bed. It can hold up to 200 pounds of mulch, soil, or garden debris, meaning you can scoop up clippings or transport small loads without needing a separate trailer. I used it to move a bag of topsoil from the back of the house to a raised bed, and the deck's low-profile design made the loading process surprisingly easy. That convenience factor is something you rarely see on gas models of the same size, which usually require a separate attachment or a separate wagon. LED headlights are a subtle but useful feature. They're bright enough to let you see the lawn's edge after dusk, so you don't have to race the sunset or set up temporary lighting. The lights are positioned low on the deck, casting a wide, even beam that helps you spot any missed spots before you finish. If you're the type who likes to get a little extra mowing done after the kids are in bed, those lights make the job safer and more efficient. Now, who should really consider this mower? First, homeowners with medium to large lawns, think 0.75-1.5 acres, who are looking for a quieter, low-maintenance alternative to gas. If you're already comfortable with swapping batteries and have a garage outlet that can accommodate 2 chargers, you'll appreciate the mow, swap, and go workflow. Gardeners who also need to move material around will love the cargo bed, and anyone who values early morning mowing without disturbing the neighborhood will benefit from the low noise. Who might want to skip it? If you have a very small yard under 1/4 of an acre, The 42-inch deck and zero-turn chassis could be overkill. A push-type electric mower would likely be cheaper and easier to store. Also, if you live in a region with extremely long grass for most of the growing season, you may find the battery runtime limiting, even with 4.